petty cashier works on imprest system. The amount which is given to the petty cashier in the beginning of certain period. You can't draw column for each and every expenses. So certain expenses will be grouped together in one group. So in an organization, there are number of small transactions. That is, the transaction with the smaller amount takes place. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we are in the 7th session of Unit 3 of the subject Fundamentals of Business Accounting, and this is for first sem B.B.A student. So we were learning about subsidiary books, that your Unit 3 is all about subsidiary books. So already we have learned few of the concepts. So let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session, I have covered this topic, that is we had solved a problem on 3-column cash book. As I told you, this is a very important problem for 15 marks. You can expect in your examination for 15 marks, that is a problem on 3-column cash book. So in a previous session, we have already seen what is 3-column cash book, what is the format of 3-column cash book, and how to solve the problem on 3-column cash book. In today's session, we shall continue with one more type of cash book, that is petty cash book. Now what is this petty cash book? What is the meaning of petty? So petty means small. So petty means what? Small. So in an organization, there are number of small transactions. That is, the transaction with the smaller amount takes place daily in an organization. So it's not fair that you can record those transactions in rest of the cash book. That is either in simple cash book or in the double column cash book or in the 3-column cash book. So what you have to do, you are going to maintain a separate cash book, which is known as petty cash book, where all the small transactions are put together, and that book is known as what? Petty cash book. So here the word petty means small. So in petty cash book, we are going to record all the transactions with a smaller amount that takes place daily in an organization. Okay, so there are number of transactions. So in a particular day itself, there are number of transactions takes place. So it will be quite difficult to record those transactions in the other type of cash book. So in order to reduce that burden, a petty cash book is being maintained so that these regular transactions, that is regular small transactions, will be recorded in the petty cash book. Now we shall go through the meaning of petty cash book. So petty cash book is a subsidiary cash book which is used to record all petty or small expenses. Petty or small expenses such as printing and stationery, postage, telephone charges, cartage, conveyance, etc. So these are the small transactions that takes place daily in an organization, and that will be maintained in a separate book which is called as what? Petty cash book. So petty cashier makes entry in the petty cash book. So the person who maintains the petty cash book is called as petty cashier. Okay, so the normal cash book will be maintained by the cashier and the petty cash book will be maintained by the petty cashier. The petty cashier works on imprest system. Now what do you mean by this imprest system? That is, you know, the petty cash book is maintained by petty cashier. So there will be a main cashier, and the person who maintains petty cash book is known as petty cashier. Now what do I mean by an imprest system? That is, at the beginning of each and every period. So it may be at the beginning of every week, or beginning of every month, or beginning of every 2 months. What the main cashier will do? Main cashier will transfer some amount to the petty cashier so that the petty cashier has to see through that. Using that amount, he has to incur all the expenses that takes place in that particular month. For example, at the beginning of January, this main cashier have transferred rupees 5,000 to the petty cashier. Now what the petty cashier has to do? Petty cashier will take the amount from the main cashier and he will keep the amount, and he has to make sure that all the small expenses or all the petty expenses of the organization will be incurred or will be spent through this 5,000, or those expenses will be spent by using that 5,000 amount. So this system is called as imprest system. Now, for example, at the beginning, now the main cashier at the beginning of January, he has transferred 5,000, and using this 5,000, petty cashier has used rupees 4,500. He has used for that particular January 4,500 for incurring all the petty expenses. Now 500 rupees is remaining in his hand. Again, what the main cashier will do at the beginning of February, he will transfer the remaining amount. So remaining amount is how much? 4,500. So 500 is already there in the hands of petty cashier. So the remaining amount what the petty cashier have spent in the last month, so that is 4,500, will be given back or will be transferred again, so that at the beginning of February, he should have 5,000 rupees in his hand. In the sense, a fixed amount should be there at the beginning of every month in the hands of petty cashier, and he has to make sure that he will incur all the expenses from that amount. If anything is remaining from the amount what is given from the main cashier, so that amount will be recovered by the main cashier at the beginning of every month. So this is about your imprest system. So you'll come to know clearly when you solve the problem. So the petty cashier works on imprest system. The amount which is given to the petty cashier in the beginning of certain period. So it may be at the beginning of every month or beginning of every week. So that period is known as certain period, is called as imprest amount. Now what is this imprest amount? The amount that is given by the main cashier to the petty cashier at the beginning of every period. So as I told you, the main cashier will transfer 5,000 in the month of January, that is beginning of January. So this 5,000 is called as what? Imprest amount, and this whole system is called as imprest system. Petty cash book is also known as subsidiary cash book. So petty cash book, the other name for petty cash book is what? Subsidiary cash book. So hope you are clear with the meaning of petty cash book. Now we shall go through the format of petty cash book. So this will be the format of petty cash book, where the first column will be amount received, next date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid. So these are the columns you have. Next you have analysis of payment. So here so as I told you, there are number of petty expenses that takes place daily. So you can't draw column for each and every expenses. So certain expenses will be grouped together in one group. So for example, all the expenses relating to postage will be recorded in postage column. All the expenses relating to telephone charges will be recorded in the telephone charges column. Next, printing and stationery. For example, you have purchased a pen. Next, you have purchased a pencil. So you can't write or you can't draw column for each and every transaction. That is for pen separately, pencil separately, for books separately. So all these are combined together and it will be recorded in printing and stationery. Next, for carriage separate column, conveyance, miscellaneous expenses. So these are the few groups where the entries or the expenses are recorded in your petty cash book. So hope you are clear with the format of petty cash book. So what is the format? So the first column will be amount received, next date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid, and under analysis of payment, so all the expenses are grouped together under specific groups. Okay, so that comes under analysis of payment. So this is a format of petty cash book. Now we shall directly go through the problem. So this is a problem on petty cash book. So go through the problem here. Enter the following transaction in the analytical petty cash book. So petty cash book is also called as what? Analytical petty cash book. So they have given us few transactions. You might get a question for 10 marks, okay, 10 marks on petty cash book in your examination, but the transaction might be quite lengthy. It's not that only this much transactions will be asked for 10 marks. You can expect more transaction, but your format, everything will be same. Now, coming to the first one, 1/4/2018, received cash from the main cashier rupees 1,000. So, what is this 1,000 is called as? So, this is a imprest amount. So, this is a imprest amount which is being received by the petty cashier from the main cashier. Next, 6/4/2018 paid for postage. So, postage stamps. So, it is the expense 240. Next, 12/4/2018 purchased stationery rupees 220. Next, 18/4/2018, that is taxi hire charges paid, how much? 140. Next, 26/4/2018 paid for printing, that is rupees 300. So, at the beginning of the month, he has received 1000. The petty cashier has to make sure that by using this 1000, he has to incur all these expenses. Now, we shall go through the solution. So, this is a solution where you will write the heading petty cash book. So, write the heading petty cash book. So, as we have already discussed, so what is the format of petty cash book? So, we will be having amount received, date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid, then analysis of payment. Then, how do you draw the analysis of payment? Depending upon the problem. So, depending upon the problem, you are going to draw the columns. So, if the expenses is not there, then no need to draw such columns. So, depending upon the problem, you are going to draw the column for analysis of payment. Now, the first one is 1/4/2018. So, write the date 1/4/2018. In the particulars, cash account. You can write it as just cash, in the bracket imprest amount. So, what is the imprest amount received? 1000. So, write in the amount received column 1000. Next, 6/4/2018 paid for postage stamps. So, 6/4/2018 particulars postage stamps. So, what is the amount paid? You have to write in the amount paid column, that is 240. So, write 240. Now, coming to the analysis of payment. So, this is a postage stamps. So, we need a column for postage. So, we shall take it as postage and telegram. So, 240 comes under postage and telegram. Okay. So, once you will record in amount paid column, next under analysis of payment, in the respective column, you have to record the amount. Next one, 12/4/2018 purchase stationery 220. So, how do you write? Write the date and in particular stationery, amount paid column 220. So, where does stationery comes? So, you can draw a separate column printing and stationery 220. Okay. Then rest other columns are dash. Next one is 18th taxi hire charges paid, that is 140. So, that is on 18th. So, write the date 18th and a particulars taxi hire charges. So, what is the amount paid? 140. So, write 140 in the amount paid column. Now, where does we write this taxi hire charges? So, we can write in the travelling expenses column. So, taxi hire, or you can write under the column conveyance, where bus fare, taxi fare, so car fare, everything can be written under conveyance, or you can take it as travelling expenses. Next one, 26 paid for printing rupees 300. So, write the date under particulars printing. What is the amount paid? Amount paid is 300. So, where do we write under analysis of payment? Under printing and stationery 300. Now, we are done with this. We have done with recording all the transactions. Now, what you have to do? We have to total these amount, that is 240 plus 220 plus 140 plus 300. So, that you will get 900. In the same way, individual column under analysis of payment also should be added here. That is postage and telegram, we have 240. Next, printing and stationery 300 plus 220, 520. Next, travelling expenses 140. Now, if you add this 240, 520 plus 140, you should get 900. If you add this, you should get 900. So, the total of this much and the total of this much should be equal to 900 only. Okay. So, you got 900. In the sense, at the beginning of the month, he has received 1000, out of which the petty cashier have spent 900 rupees. Remaining is how much? That is 1000 minus 900. So, remaining is 100 is there in the hands of petty cashier. So, what we have to take at the end of the month, he has how much balance? That is balance carried down is 100. So, 900 plus 100, you will get 1000. Here also it is 1000. Okay. Now, at the beginning of next month. So, at the beginning of next month, he has 100 rupees in his hand. So, 1/5/2018 balance brought down how much? 100. And how much the main cashier has to give to the petty cashier again? That is, out of 1000 he has spent 900. So remaining is 100. So in order to make 1000 again, so how much the main cashier has to give? Again 900 rupees. That is, whatever the amount spent by the petty cashier has to be given back. So cash account, how much? 900 has to be given back. So this is a problem on petty cash book, but for 10 marks you might get few more transactions, but your format, calculation, everything is same. Now we shall go through one more problem on petty cash book. So go through the problem here. Prepare petty cash book from the following information. The imprest amount is rupees 1000. So they have given the imprest amount. So what do you mean by the imprest amount? That is the amount which is being received from the main cashier to the petty cashier. Okay, so the imprest amount is 1000. So that the petty cashier has to make sure that by using that 1000 rupees, he has to incur all the expenses in that particular month. Now, June 1st, 2019. So, let us see what are the expenses they have incurred. Paid cartage, rupees 50. Next, second, bus fare, rupees 60. Sixth, postage, rupees 110. Next, 10th, refreshment to customers, 80. 12th, courier charges, that is 30. Next, we have 15, pen, pencil and eraser, that is 115. Next, 18, telegram charges, 50. 22nd, miscellaneous expenses, 70. Then 26, fax charges, 65. 31st, auto charges, 90. So, by using this 1000 rupees, the petty cashier has to incur all these expenses. So, we shall directly go through the solution, that is how to prepare the petty cash book. So, write the heading petty cash book. Now, you know the format. So, the first column is amount received, date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid. Next, we are coming to the analysis of payment. So, depending upon the problem, we are going to draw the columns for analysis of payment. Now, go through the first transaction, that is on 1st June. So, the month starts from 1st June, whereas they have given the imprest amount 1000. So, we shall take it as from on 1st June, the main cashier has given 1000 to the petty cashier as imprest amount. So, how do you write? So, June 1st, 2019, amount received 1000. So, what is this? Cash. That is imprest amount. Rest all the columns will be empty. Next is on 1st. So, first what they have done, paid cartage. So, cartage is an expense and the amount is 50. So, 1 particulars cartage. What is the amount paid? 50. Now, under analysis of payment, so we have to draw the column for cartage. So, we shall draw it as cartage only. So, cartage 50. Moving on to the next one. So, the next expense is bus fare and the amount is 60. So, how do we write? Write the date, second, under particulars bus fare and in amount paid, that is 60. So, bus fare can be written under the column travelling expenses. So, under travelling expenses, we shall write it as 60. Moving on to the next one, that is postage, 6th and the amount is 110. So, how do we write? Write the date 6th, particulars postage, amount paid 110. So, under analysis of payment, we shall draw a separate column as postage and telegram, where we will write as 110. Next one, 10th, refreshment to customers, that is 80. Okay, so how to write in a petty cash book? Write the date 10th, refreshment to customers. What is the amount paid? 80. And where do we write this amount paid? That is refreshment to customers under miscellaneous expenses. Okay, next one, that is 12th, courier charges. So, what is the amount they have given? That is courier charges is 30. So, how do we write? Write the date 12th, courier charges and the amount paid is 30. So, where we can combine this courier charges, that is in postage as well as telegram, that is under analysis of payment. And the next one is 15th, pen, pencil and eraser. So, we can combine under stationaries. So, write the date, then pen, pencil and eraser in the particulars column, amount paid column 115 and in stationaries we can write it as 115. Next one, 18th, telegram charges. So, we can combine under postage and telegram, right? So, what is the telegram charges? 50. So, write the date, telegram charges under particulars 50. So under postage and telegram, we can write this telegram. Next one, that is miscellaneous expenses. So we have a separate column called miscellaneous expenses. So miscellaneous expenses is 70. So write the date 22nd, miscellaneous expenses, and the amount is how much? 70. So where you can write under miscellaneous expenses. Next one, fax charges and auto charges we have, that is 65 and 90. So write both 26 fax charges, amount paid is 65. So where we can write the fax charges under postage and telegram. Next we have auto charges. So write the date, write the particulars, and in amount paid column 90. So this auto charges can be written under traveling expenses. Now as usual, you have to add all the amount paid column so that you get 720. In the sense, out of 1000 rupees, the petty cashier has spent 720. So remaining is how much? 1000 minus 720. So 280 is remaining in the hands of petty cashier. Okay. So you have to add everything and add all the respective column under analysis of payment. So that if you add everything, you will get 720. If you add individual column and if you add all these, that is from here to here, if you add all these, you should get 720 only. Okay. So now what is the remaining amount which is there in the hands of petty cashier at the end of that particular month? That is 280. That is 1000 minus 720. 1000 is given by the main cashier and 720 is been spent by the petty cashier. So remaining amount is how much? 280. So 280 at the end of the month, you will write it as balance carried down. So both the side it is 1000. That is 720 plus 280, you will get 1000. Now what is the balancing figure? What is the amount which is left in the hands of petty cashier? That is 280. Again, in order to make it as 1000, how much the main cashier has to give? That is the amount which is spent by the petty cashier itself will be given by the main cashier. So how much they have spent? 720. So the same amount has to be given by the main cashier. So you will write it as cash. That is how much? 720. Hope you are clear with the problem. Now we shall go through one more small problem. From the following transaction, prepare analytical petty cash book. Now go through the first one. 1/1/2017 received cash from the main cashier. That is imprest amount. So this 500 is what? This is a imprest amount. So what is the amount? That is 500. Next, 5/1/2017 paid cartage on goods 150. Next, 8/1/2017 postage stamp they have paid, that is rupees 50. Next, 20/1/2017 they have paid for stationeries rupees 200. Next, 30/1/2017 they have paid for auto fare rupees 40. So these are the expenses which is made by the petty cashier. So they are asking us to prepare the petty cash book. Now write the heading petty cash book. Now you know the format as usual: amount received, date, particulars, voucher number, amount paid, and analysis of payment. Now come to the first date, 1/1/2017. That is, what is the imprest amount received? 500. So how do we write? Cash, imprest amount, and the amount is to be written in the amount received column. How much? 500. And the next one is 5/1/2017. So what is the particulars? Cartage, and what is the amount? 150. So 5/1/2017 in particulars cartage, and what is the amount? 150. So where do we write 150? Under analysis of payment, we shall draw a column called cartage in order to record it. That is 150. Next one, that is 8/1/2017 postage stamp. How much? Rupees 50. So write 8/1/2017 postage stamp. What is the amount paid? 50. Where you can combine? So under postage and telegram. Next one, 20/1/2017 stationery purchase. So we shall draw a column as stationery. So 20/1/2017 stationery is a particulars, and what is the amount paid? 200. So we shall draw a column printing and stationery where you can record 200. Next one, 30/1/2017 auto fare. So you can write it as travelling expenses or conveyance. Okay, how much? 40. So 30/1/2017 auto fare, and the amount is 40, amount paid. You can write it as travelling expenses. Next, what you have to do? You have to add all the amount in amount paid column. So when you add all these, you will get 440. So, and individual analysis of payment column should be added. So, cartage is 150, postage is 50, printing and stationery is 200 and traveling expenses is 40. So, if you add all these, you should get the same amount, that is 440. In the sense, out of 500 which is given by the main cashier, 440 is being spent by the petty cashier. So, remaining 60 is what? Balancing amount at the end of that particular month. Okay. So, 440 plus 60. So, this 60 has to be written as 31st/1/2017 balance carried down. That is the balance amount what is there in the hands of petty cashier, 60. So, 440 plus 60 will get 500 both the side. Then what is the balance brought down? Whatever the amount you have carried down, bring down the balance. In the sense, at the beginning of next month also, this petty cashier has 60 rupees in his hand. So, 1/2/2017 balance brought down 60. Still, how much the main cashier has to give to the petty cashier? That is the amount which has been actually spent. So, how much he has spent? 440. So, 440 has to be given in the form of cash. So, this is how you are going to prepare your petty cash book. So, hope you are clear with this. You have to be careful with the format. So, in my next session, we shall discuss the next topic, that is bank reconciliation statement. Let us see what is this bank reconciliation statement. So, we are done with all the subsidiary books. Okay. So, next we shall go on to the next concept under subsidiary book only they have given, that is bank reconciliation statement. So, my dear students, hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.